Hi, I'm Owen from London Youth Rowing. We're just going to go through some bodyweight exercises today. We're going to do 4 exercises, 20 reps, and we're then going to go through that 4 times. Before we do that, we just need to get our heart rate up and get ready. So we're just going to jog on the spot, nice and light on our toes. It's nice and easy, just get the blood pumping round. Just keep going. And as we go, we're just going to start moving our arms a little bit, just starting to loosen up our body. And now we're just going to start bringing the knees up nice and high. Get our heart rate up a little bit more. And just keep working. And then just back down. Just nice small movements. Nice and relaxed. And stopping there, we're going to bring our arms up and over. And then back the other way. We're going to do each of these 10 times. And then we're going to come across. Okay. The heart rate should be up, we should be a little bit out of breath, and we should be ready to start. We're going to start with press ups, 20. They're down. Keeping our back nice and straight, nice and strong. 1. Nice and controlled. If it starts to get hard, so we're at 10, we're just going to drop down to the knees. Do the next 10. Still keeping that back straight. Done. A little bit of a rest. We're going to stand up, we're going to work on our legs next, so we're going to do some squats. So starting nice and wide, I'll do them side on so you can see. Again, 20 reps. Making sure we go down nice and low. Keeping our knees over our feet. Keeping our head up, chest up. That's good. A little bit of a breather. Next we're going to work on our stomach, so we're going to be on the floor for this one. If you've got a mat, you can use it. If not, just on the floor. We're going to do some leg raises. So nice and flat on our back. Just hands down to the side. Going to bring our knees in. And we're going to do this 20 times again. Trying to keep our lower back nice and controlled. We don't want to be arching our back up. If we feel like our back's arching, then we just don't go out quite as far. And if that still feels too hard, for the last 10, I'm just going to do one leg at a time. That just makes it a little bit easier. And then I can keep my technique the whole way through. And then we're going to go back down and work on our legs again for the last one. And this is going to be lunges. We're going to do 10 on each side. So you're just going to step forward, drop straight down, keeping your chest up. So 1. Keep breathing nice and controlled. Good. 10 on one leg, same on the other side. Keeping our hips level, dropping down. Keep our chest up, looking forward. If you feel like you can't go all the way down, don't go quite as low, that's fine. Do what you can. Good, so that's the first set done. Starting to get a little bit out of breath now, hopefully you are as well. Means we're working hard. So we're going to go straight back into press ups. Not going to get too much rest, so keep working the whole way through the session. Again, if it's hard, from your knees. If not, full press up for as many as you can. If you can't do any more, just stop, have a little breather, go again. Okay, so straight back into press ups. Aiming for 20 if you can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still keeping that back nice and straight. 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and the last one of these, 20. Oh, my heart rate's going now. Getting a little bit warm. Straight back into squats. Again, just go as low as you can. Aiming for 20. If you can't make 20 with good technique, just stop, rest, start again. Going down. 1, 2, 3. You can keep your hands to the side if you want. 4, 5, or bring them out in front. 6, 7, keeping our knees nice and straight. 8, 9, 10, I'll just turn so you can see. So keeping our knees over our toes. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh. Starting to get a little bit out of breath. So we're going to go back into the leg raises. Going to do alternating on this one, the whole way through. Lie down, abs in nice and tight, hands out to the side. 20 reps, nice and controlled. So I'm trying not to let my lower back arch. I think that's 20, lost count in the middle. Always do a couple extra if I do. So then we're going back into lunges again. Should feel your heart rate being up. A little bit hot, a little bit sweaty by now. I am anyway. So going back, alternating lunges this time just to keep it mixed. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. And the same, we're dropping right down as low as you can go. If you wobble like that, stop, reset, go again. Just keep your upper body relaxed, nice and tall. Good. Little rest before we go to our next set, so this is going to be the third set. And this time, starting to get a little bit tired, so we're going to do half press ups, but still go through the full 20. And I want a nice straight line from my knee up through my hips to my shoulders. Trying to keep my head relaxed so I only get 2 tenths. So from the same position, keep my abs nice and tight, going all the way down. If you feel like you can't go all the way down, that's fine, we can go half. Just keep it nice and covered, elbows back. That's feeling alright. For the last 5, back to full. Oh, it's getting a bit hard now. Whew. Starting to sweat a little bit, well, that's a good sign. Back into squats. So this time, just going to add a little jump for the first 10, and then if it starts to get tired, if I start to get tired, I'll go back to normal. So again, having your knees over your feet, going down, little jump, nice soft landing, We're landing on our toes and going down. That's 10. The next 10, not going to jump, just going to stand still. Get my breath back a little bit. And down. We're going to go down parallel on the legs. So again, nice and low. Really getting those muscles working. Should feel your heart rate getting nice and high. A little bit out of breath. Still kind of keep the good posture. Whew. Getting a bit warm. Okay, back down on the floor. But it's not a rest. Gonna go into leg raises. I'm going back to double leg raises this time. Hands out to the side. Just coming in nice and controlled. And then to make it a little bit harder, we're just going to lift the hips at the end for the last 10. So you're going to come up and then up. Just nice and controlled, squeezing in through the abs. Whew, getting warm. 2 more. Last one. It's good. Going to go into lunges and just same as last time, alternating leg to leg. For the lunges, we want to keep our body above our hips and drop straight down to the floor. So you're going to go out. Just keep that breathing nice and controlled. If it's starting to get too hard, we can drop and just do single again. So we're going to do that for the next 10. So just go down. And then swap again. So if you can do it the whole way through, in the most difficult way, that's really good. Definitely do it. But it's better to make it easier for yourself and actually do it properly than it is to do it badly. So remember, technique always comes first. Which means you've got one more set. So just a little bit of time, get your breath back. Go back into the press up. So this last set, remember, we want to do the best we can. So if you need to make it easier, do the easier version, do that. Okay, 20 press ups, here we go. Keeping that back nice and straight. Shoulders level. Then I'm going to drop my knees to the last 10. Make it a little bit easier so I can hold the form. One more. Oh, that's good. Starting to feel this now. Moving back onto the squats. Just normal squats. This time, go down, keeping our knees over our feet. Trying to go down to parallel with our thighs to the floor. Got 8 more to do. Just turn. Keeping the breathing nice and controlled. And last one of these. Good. Back down onto the mat. More work on the core with the leg raises. Just double legs to start, and we'll see how we get on. So out, in, keep that back controlled. We don't want to arch the lower back up. Keep our hands just there to stabilise. on, just going to switch. Good. So I can feel my lower back starting to lift up. So I just make it easy for myself and make sure I can keep that technique. Last exercise, back to the lunges. Just going to do single side this time. 10 on one leg, then 10 on the other. Just keeping our body nice and upright. Oh, try not to wobble too much, dropping down. Keep that abs in nice and tight. We want to keep that body controlled, same as you do when you're on the rowing machine. Swap to the other leg. Keeping the abs in, hips level. Or hit a bit more. Last one then. Good. Worked a little bit hard. Use some muscles, so we need to just have a quick stretch out. What we're going to do is just bring one hand across, all the way across. Just going to hold that for 10-15 seconds, so just count in your head. And then same on the other side. We're going to bring our hands behind, just push away. This really opens up your chest. It's a nice stretch to do, especially after the press ups. Keep your posture as good as you can. Good, then last one. We'll bring the hands up into the back. So on the other side. Sorry, that was the last one for the upper body. We just got two for the legs very quickly. So we'll work those as well. So we're just going to do hamstrings. One leg out in front. Squat down. I know you've got the nice noisy bike outside if you can hear that in the camera. You should really feel this stretching down the back of the leg. My hamstrings are quite tight, so I'm not very good at this one. Really up there, nice and pulling. Just keeping it controlled. And then just the front of the legs. Same with wobbling, you're going to use the wall to a little bit of support. If you've got good balance, you don't need to do this. Again, keeping our abs in, knees together. You should really feel it down the front of your leg. And same with the other side. Try and do it without the wall this time, and try not to wobble. Again, try to keep that little wobble. Hips level, knees together. Chest up, abs pulled in. Good. That's it, we're done. Hopefully it was a little bit easier for you than it was for me.